Hi, I'm Ross. I went on a cruise and I didn't even buy a watch, but I looked at some bangers. Let's take a look at a little hands-on with an impressive original Longines Legend Diver, 42 millimeters, with a date. You see, it's quite simple. A lot of us watch enthusiasts think the same. We have similar likes, some dislikes, but overall the passion for watches is crazy, consistent, all over the place. For instance, Roby The Wrist on YouTube has done a review of this very watch in its new release, the 39mm special edition 65th anniversary Legend Diver. Just after I got back from the cruise and tried this thing on myself. Beautiful timing. It's an excellent review, by the way. I'll put a link down below for that one. You can check it out. In its newest form, the 39mm looks fantastic. It's some great stuff. Now, as a creator on the platform, I'm also a fan of several channels. It's important. Even though the products are sometimes the same, or the companies are the same, different designs, different variants, it's all super informative, and I just have an appreciation for everyone out there creating content and putting the stuff out there so I can learn more as well, which is fantastic. Great job, Roby. Appreciate it. Roby and I met for the first time in person at the Toronto Timepiece Show. Fantastic event for our first one here in Toronto, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last. And since I wasn't able to get some angles here because I had a short time with the hands-on, I did grab some images from Roby's video. I'll pump them up there. Of course, I'll source them, no problem. But just keep in mind, those are the 39mm new release ones versus the OG, which I had the opportunity to get hands-on with. But let's look at the original, the 42mm Legends Diver. Let's see how the 42mm looks on my wrist. You know they're 7¼ inches, and a wow moment. Today we have on the Citizen ProMaster Aqualand. Link in the description there for that video. Now, although quite similar, there are some significant differences, and in particular, Roby's 39mm, the new Celebration, that came on a beads of rice bracelet, whereas the one I reviewed came on the mesh Milanese polished steel bracelet. Also comfortable, but two very different looks. Which begs the question, are you going to go for the 42mm OG, or are you going to look at the newer 39mm variants? You're going to have to comment below, let me know. Now, the Legend Diver reminded me of another watch I used to own, especially when it comes to the actual design. The Super Compressor Dan Henry 1970 diver that I had. There's some similarities there, but the Legend Diver is all its own. A little history, the watch is inspired by that Super Compressor design of years ago, like go back to like 1959. I mean, with its 65th anniversary here, we have 3 different colorways to celebrate now. The terracotta, the green, and the anthracite in that 39mm measurement that the Calibrated Wrist just happened to put online for us, as well as many other creators. However, this model has no date. Now, the older compressor design didn't have a locking crown. It relied on O-rings built into the case, which would absorb the changes in atmospheric pressure. So the deeper you went down in the water, the more water resistance it had. Fantastic design concept. Longines has been a legend since 1959. This one coming in at 42mm stainless steel polished case is attractive. A little blingy, but attractive, and I think it can be paired with a number of different straps or bracelets. I mean, don't be shy. If you want to change it out, you can lessen the load on your wrist as well by putting on a NATO or leather or synthetic or whatever it might be. Something that you think would still be able to handle the water. I don't know, comment below. Is it too blingy for you? Would a brushed case have been a lot better? I know the variant comes with a PVD coated steel as well model in all black. I like that. I was hands-on with reference L37744500, 22mm lug, and we have 52.6mm lug-to-lug here, which may seem a little large. Don't get too scared. Luckily, the lugs are sloped down a little bit, which makes for an added better feeling or wear on the wrist. A 12.7mm thickness or case height. It seems pretty reasonable, under that 13, which is the median for a diver, I think. And on the synthetic or leather strap, we're looking at 87 grams. So I would imagine around 130 grams for the bracelet, depending which one you have. If you know the accurate weight, just drop a comment down below, let me know. A screw down, good looking case back with that great diver etched into the back. Great design. And even the new one that Roby has shown has a great case back as well. Now, the overall water resistance is 30 bar or 300 meters, which is great for a diver. Now, the difference between then and now is simple. You don't need to rely on this compressor design. These are actually screw-in crowns. So you're going to be getting a watertight seal, no problem, every time, provided you remember to lock it down. You see there's no exterior timing bezel, you've noticed by now. Everything is inside the case. It looks and feels great on the wrist, definitely speaks to the versatility here because it's a tool watch, but it can be a chameleon. This thing can pass for a dress or casual design. It's an elegant look, I have to admit. And with that box sapphire crystal on top, things are looking great. Good visual of the dial from edge to edge of this case. In fact, that internal flange style bezel matches that of the inside colors for the dial, so it all just blends seamlessly together. A matte black background, which worked well with the vintage yellowish brown markers and indices. It all just looked really nice and rich. Indices and hour markers all match for consistency and contrast. However, the whole thing's not loomed. It may appear as though it might be loomed, but it's not. Thanks to Superluminova, you have the loom built into the hour hand and the minute hand, and then also the primary indicator position there at the 12. There's no loom on the numerals, like the newer release model. It only has the hash marks and things that are loomed. So now a date window is framed out at the 3 o'clock position, and in the same color as the rest of the dial. However, my feelings on it is that you could do without it, I think. You have Longines and the winged hourglass at the 12 o'clock. And you have that cursive automatic text there at the 6, with Swiss made in smaller font splitting the 6 o'clock position way down below. A vintage broad arrow and stick minute hand are true to the old school design, with a large seconds hand running around the dial. The heartbeat of the watch, you know I love that. The movement, it's Swiss made. And the Legend Diver is a great tool watch with fantastic casual dressed aesthetics that lend to it being loved by so many. But what powers this beauty is under the hood here, top notch. Caliber L888 automatic movement, self-winding, mechanical movement utilizing a silicone balance spring. It runs at a little lower at 25,200 vibrations per hour, but delivers additional power reserve of up to 72 hours. This watch is fantastic. It's likely to outlive you and I. Now, the United States currency killed us again. I was able to talk them down in the store to about $2,500 US, but I felt a little uneasy. Sometimes you just get that gut feeling, right? The watch is online at Longines.com as we speak December 18th, 1 week before Christmas, at $3,250 plus applicable taxes. Now here's where the math comes in. Get the calculator out because I am terrible at math. There wasn't much savings after all, maybe about a $50 difference after the conversion was done. I just wasn't ready to do it at this point. And do I have some regrets? Yeah, I do. I hate leaving a cruise without a watch. But as far as the 42 Longines Legend goes, for me personally, I thought I prefer without the date. Comment below, let me know what your feeling is on that. In closing, I enjoyed my time with the Legend Diver, don't get me wrong, however brief it was, but simply put, it's a gorgeous piece. Right up my alley. Thanks Roby at The Calibrated Wrist for your insights into the 39mm and the beads of rice design with no date. Also thanks to the Watch Idiot for his loom shop. Cheers mate, I appreciate it. Also my overall feeling was my bracelet with the mesh Melanese style was a little bit blingy for me with that full package of all polish. I would have preferred a synthetic leather or a leather strap or even the beads of rice, you know, with that brushed appearance. There's no doubt a Longines Legend Diver that's right for you is out there. Which one would you choose? There are 7+ options here between the original releases and the newer releases in 39mm. Do you go 39? Do you go 42? Do you go date? Do you go no date? Either way, put one on your wrist, but use caution. You could end up pulling the trigger. Longines Legend Diver. Thanks everyone for watching. Do what you gotta do. See you on the next video.